Look, I will never have my shit together for the
slam. Mind your business.
Thank you. Someone had to say it. And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Berkeley Poetry Slam. My name is Reggie, and I will be your host on this wonderful evening of poetic genius and artistic beauty. But before we begin, I, of course, have to thank the people that make all of this work possible. I don't know about you, but it's been a long, damn near 3 years. Well, I guess going on 3 years. Time is an illusion, especially when we're always in the house. But it's been like hella long since we've had an in-person show. We have not charged anyone to participate in our online shows, and we are still paying artists to feature, still paying artists to run workshops, still paying winners at the end of the night. And none of that would be possible if it wasn't for the sustained support of our community on Patreon. Patreon.com is a wonderful service where people can subscribe, donate monthly, and really support the movement of local artists and small organizations like ourselves. So I'd like to give a special shout out to the folks that make this possible, in particular, Renee Edmonds, Stephanie Yeboah, and Emily Chow and Calla Lily for being regular supporters of us on Patreon. I'd like to give a shout out to Jessica Koskick for sponsoring one of our weekly workshops. And of course, I want to give a nice, hella loud risk it for the biscuit. Thank you to our supporters, Alice Grimm and Rebecca Abraham, for pledging $100 a month in support of one of our venues, the Allen Bluford Center for Justice. If you like anything that you hear tonight or that you've heard from us over the last few years, if you want to support local artists, if you believe in platforms like this supporting marginalized voices to rise above, you can go over to patreon.com/richoakevents to donate monthly. But Reggie, what if I want to donate but not on a monthly basis? I am so glad you asked, because we have a Cash App at, oh Jesus fucking Christ, is that Berkeley Slam? Our Cash App is Berkeley Slam.
Yeah.
Our Cash App is Berkeley Slam, and our Venmo is Rich Oak Events, or Rich Oak Slam. My bad, Rich Oak Slam Venmo, Cash App Berkeley Slam. But either of those are great ways to donate. You can also visit our link tree. We are going to start looking for more volunteers soon as it looks more possible to start doing in-person shows. So if you can't donate your money but would like to donate your time, stay connected with us, follow us on social media, because opportunities like that will be popping up soon. Cool. I'm really excited for tonight, because I'm always really excited when we switch things up a little bit. Okay. We have a little bit of technical difficulties with the live stream, but we're sorting that out on YouTube. But I am really excited because we're gonna switch things up a little bit. Normally we have our slam 1 round feature and then the second round, but our feature is in a different time zone. And I know that, like, when I have work in the morning and something says like 8 p.m. in a different time zone, and it means like 10, 11, 12 p.m. in my time zone, I'm like, I need to go to bed. So we are going to have our feature coming up first. Our feature, I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited because our feature is Ariana Brown. One of my favorite poets, one of my favorite people on Twitter, just one of my favorite people in general. So if you don't know, you better get ready. Samuel L. Jackson, hold on to your butts, because I'm about to read this bio. Ariana Brown is a queer Black Mexican-American poet from the South Side of San Antonio, Texas, now based in Houston, Texas. She is the author of poetry collections We Are Owed, Grieveland 2021, Sana Sana, Game Over Books 2020. Ariana's work investigates queer Black personhood in Mexican American spaces, Black relationality and girlhood, loneliness, and care. She has 2 ethnic studies degrees and is currently in training to become a librarian, something the world needs more of. Ariana is a 2014 National Collegiate Poetry Slam champion and owes much of her practice to Black performance communities led by Black women poets from the South. She has been writing, performing, and teaching poetry for 13 years. You can follow Ariana on Twitter and Instagram at Ariana the Poet, but I need everyone to give a nice, loud, wonderful Berkeley applause for our feature of the night, Ariana Brown.
Pew, pew. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, it is very late in my time zone, but I'm super excited to be here sharing poems with y'all. I am mostly going to read from my book that came out last year called We Are Owed. Yeah, and I only have 15 minutes, so I'm gonna jump straight into it and tell you a little bit about the poems in between. So We Are Owed is came out last July, and I've been working on it for a very long time, so I'm really excited to finally be able to share the poems with you. I'm going to start with the first poem in the book, which is called At the End of the Borderlands. We need new origins. Countries are killing everyone I love. From my cousin's lips, a wish for my safety. From my curandera's hands, rituals for healing. I simmered rosemary and drank its tea. Grew my hair thick as a plague, spoke poems till my throat blistered and waned, and still could not curse colonizers enough to undo their work. No one I know has enough money to live, yet asks if I've eaten. Before days end, we feed each other our blackness, grow full from offering, our many tongues, studies, compassion, our wilderness and names. We run the length of country, reddening our feet, come to our own ends to face ourselves. What will we leave in our wake? Who we are now is our responsibility, our empty pockets, our humility or shame. Culture alone will not save us. Who are you without your country? What would you give? Would you fight for those you don't love, to whom you are indebted? The next poem I'm going to read, this book is thinking through concepts of nationalism. Particularly, I feel like it's really common for like people of color in the US who have heritage countries elsewhere to write about and really feel an allegiance to our heritage countries. And something that I've been thinking really deeply about in my writing and in my research over the last few years is how white supremacy is still present in our heritage countries as well, and how sometimes in our longing for those places, we don't reckon with or interrogate those histories and that presence of violence as well. So this book is looking a lot at anti-Blackness in Mexico and in Mexican American spaces. This is a poem I wrote about the shoe, the Nike Cortez, which is named after the conquistador Hernan Cortez, who is famous for colonizing Mexico. He was a Spaniard. So this is called Nylon Black 72. I don't know why most Mexicans in my hood wore Nike Cortezes, why the breakers in my crew polished them daily, as if a little spit could salvage our childhoods, why we all know Cortezes are best for sea walking, gang shit, sick moves thrust upon an opponent's pride, why we thought by wearing the name of our conqueror, we might somehow become him. This is not a poem that I'm gonna read, but I'm really proud of it. I have a poem in the book called Aguacate that's in the shape of an avocado, and it just makes me really happy. So I wanted you to know that. It's better if you read it on the page, so I'll let you have that
That's where it
experience.
from in the book.
Okay, this poem starts with a quote. And the quote is, Black slaves first arrived in Mexico in 1519 as part of the Panfilo Narvaez expedition. It is uncertain whether they assisted Hernan Cortes in the conquest of the Aztec Empire. We do know that Esteban, one of the slaves introduced by Narvaez, participated in the first expedition to set foot in Texas. Marta Menchaca. I had a friend named Guillermo in elementary, and for 3 years, our teacher decided I was his tutor. Dark, sea-washed temple of bronze, his name with 2 most difficult letters, Guillermo's hair a torch, thick, and going straight up. I never thought Guillermo could be my brother, my interest. When I say friend, I mean he was someone who sat next to me in class, bothered my conversations, no context for showing up. I mean, it's a miracle I remembered his name. And Guillermo was the darkest Mexican I'd ever met. And my exiled hair was a harbor we both could have moored in. And I did not know how to lift my silent lip and smile. I only knew he was annoying. And I memorized the lightning color of Jacob's hair instead. Jacob, with a thin lip and small ankles. I did not see Esteban, prince of conquest, pouring sand into my blood. Esteban, who survived the ocean twice and left behind no images of himself, instead was forced to give the Spaniards a key to the world above the river, and this crossing is where I begin. Were your ancestors immigrants or slaves? Did they read the signs, no niggers, Mexicans, or dogs allowed? Were they assumed to be rich? Were they rich? Did they own themselves? Did they have to work for their freedom? And the ancient lands our feet kissed with blood call us back to the soil, saying, remember. And I know now the statute of liberty which embraced the necks of Esteban's skinfolk and draped the bodies of his descendants across Huizaches in Texas. And Esteban did not live long enough to have children. And the soil swallows so many bodies. And myself and Guillermo spoke as little as possible. Suffice it to say, we have a history. And Guillermo, and the teacher said Guillermo's name, like the name of an exile. Something that I've been very interested in is finding any records of Black folks who were enslaved in what is now called Mexico, the land that's now called Texas. Esteban was one of those people. It's likely that he was the first Black person to set foot in present-day New Mexico and Arizona and Texas. Like Esteban, there is another historical figure from this time period named Gaspar Yanga, who was enslaved in Mexico and escaped to Veracruz, where he helped found the first free African settlement in the Americas, in a town that was originally called San Lorenzo de los Negros, but is now called Yanga. There are no, as far as I know, surviving images of either of these men. And so I write to them in my book. I have a series of poems about Yanga, about this, you could call him the Harriet Tubman of Mexico because he freed so many people. But I am curious about the erasure of Yanga's legacy and story. Shout out to my cat, Johnny. This poem is called Why I Want to Know What Yanga Looked Like. If I had a photograph of Yanga, if one arrived in the mail from a friendly but weary postman, in a long, thick envelope sealed with spit that was spat between the gap in 2 clean teeth. Because I think of Yanga as having a gap between his teeth. Not sure why, just seems like it makes sense. Not a humongous gap, but a small one. A thin space between 2 yellow bones at the front of his mouth. The crack in a bell that makes the song sweeter. And when I speak about songs, I'm always speaking about freedom. A gap like that, where everything goes black for a minute, and then the lights come on. And somehow what you are seeing is more beautiful because of the interruption. because the interruption becomes part of the thing itself. And suddenly, you can't imagine the two teeth, wide and high at the top of the mouth like sails, having ever existed without a dark spell in between them, marker of an absence, skinny black pillar, little room holding everything I have lost since Yanga's escape, since the sieges on land and by foot, the open door to 4 centuries of running, and a fistful of secret languages I only speak in my dreams. If I looked at the photograph of Yanga and found all that, a litany of things thieved from my contemporary memory, and Yanga had sealed the envelope with spit and the lick of aloe vera, then I'd frame the photograph and hang it in the center of my home. So every time I left, before locking the door, I'd check for Yanga, grinning at me with a gaze 4 centuries long, black streak in his smile, the 2 large teeth shining like sugar. This is the last Yanga poem in the book. It's a letter that I wrote to him. Yanga, did you really agree to turn in runaways in exchange for freedom? Your people's freedom? Were you a patriarch? I have no room to judge, no experience to understand yours exactly. I still love you. I just want to know. Did you have children? A wife? A husband? A gender? Or a few? In my knowledge of you, what has been imposed, invented? Yanga, I have been thinking about birth. Who was your mother? How many people loved and raised you? What did you call yourself? Was it you that birthed the people? Or your wife? Were you a man? Or something freer? I have been thinking about birth as the place we begin, but I want to begin with you. I think I do. What language did you speak? Who taught it to you? Did you like chocolate with hot peppers like Inse Duncan said? Or the way loving someone means you will always remember them, even if you forget their face? Teach me to be a person without a nation on the other side of enslavement. I will write to you always. Someone we cannot picture is writing to us now, asking for assistance. They are on the brink of an escape neither you nor I could see. They are ours, and the way we are each other's, and the way you were your people's, and they are bringing all of us with them into the forever universe where we are always free. I stopped saying I could never have imagined, because when I met you, it stopped being true.
Woo!
Thanks, yeah. I think I have time for maybe 1 or 2 more poems. I have beef with Gloria Anzaldúa, and that's very clear if you know me. This poem is called this poem is called Borderland Sweet Names. Brown is my name. Brown was my father's name, and his before his, and his before his, and his before his. Before Brown was my name and my father's name, it was a white man's name. Brown is his name, not yours. Brown is the name of a slave owner. Brown is a color. Brown is a color of some of my family, not all. Brown is my name, not yours. Brown is the color I am no matter the season. I am brown, but I am not dark-skinned. Black is also my color. Black is also my allegiance. I am Black, but I am not dark-skinned. Brown does not mean dark-skinned. Black power is my allegiance. Black is not my name, but it is my condition. Black people exist in every country. Black people exist in every country because of slavery, because of migration. Being Black is different than being brown. Brown is not specific. Brown does not mean indigenous. Mexican does not mean brown. I am proud to be Black. Black power inspired the brown berets, who were not all brown. Black power is fundamental. Mexican is not a race, so there is no such thing as brown power. What raza, mestizaje, means Mexico without Black people. Mexican is different from Mexican American. What do you mean? I am being perfectly clear. Okay, I'm gonna read one last poem and then turn it over to y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I'll drop the link to the book in the chat if you're interested. I appreciate y'all a lot. This poem is called Introductions. I'm Ariana, and I've been conquered. Child of Mexico, Africa, USA. I have someone else's name. I was born in a cemetery. In 1848, Frederick Douglass wrote an article condemning the US conquest of Mexico. I went to the Alamo on a field trip once. My uncle's dream is to own land. His Facebook photo is him atop a horse. This is not a joke. A border blew through me, hooked my great-grandmother's tooth, dragged the bones of Laredo south across the river. My great-grandmother's hometown is built on the bones of her ancestors. Pride is a strange violence. My great-grandmother's country had a Black president in 1829, last name Guerrero, meaning warlike, soldier. My father was in the Air Force. He died flying. Try to tell me the wind don't speak. My father died before I was born. I talk to everyone's ancestors. I'm a cotton twirler, shapeshifter, grave digger. My curandera says the earth can transform anything. I be burying shit all the time. Thank y'all. I'm Ariana Brown, sharing poems from We Are O. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night.
Oh my God. I need everybody to make noise.
Yes.
What?
That was incredible. We need that link.
What?
Bow, 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 bow.
It's like I cried, he cried, we both crowed. Like, whoa.
I might scream.
My heart is still racing.
That's so good.
What a sacrifice.
The
Oh my God.
biggest freaking sacrifice.
Yeah, so that was our feature, Ariana Brown. Thank you so much for being here. Wow.
What a way to start.
Right? Whew. Child, let me get it together. Wow. Y'all need to go buy both of Ariana's books. I don't think I need to explain why. I think we all know why, so we should just go do that. For those of y'all who are in the Zoom, the link's already in the chat. You got a head start before this book sells out because it should sell out. Y'all should make sure it sells out. I don't know how many copies that is, but I'm sure we can make something happen. Come on now. I know, shit, let me put that on my wish list. Hold on. Yeah, that, oh, wow. Whew. Thank you so much. And now we have to transition into a slam. I want to go home. I'm already home and I want to go home now. But no, we have a slam, our competition. The reason we are here tonight with, I believe, 7 amazing poets that are going to be competing. But with all competitions, there are rules to go over. So first, for our poets, y'all know the drill. There are no props, no costumes, no musical accompaniment, no nudity. Please do not get the live stream shut down. That is Tino's job. But more importantly than making sure that Tino is not unemployed is your time limit. You have a time limit of 3 minutes with a grace period of 10 seconds. After 3 minutes and that grace period of 10 seconds, you will be deducted points by our scorekeeper, L. After 4 minutes, you will be muted and I will have to come up and awkwardly recover that fumble. I do not play football. Those are not the type of balls that I'm good with handling. So I'm going to not recover that fumble and it's just gonna be awkward for everybody. So don't go over 4 minutes. Whatever you do, just don't go over 4 minutes. Lit. That's the poets. Next, for the judges. Judges, you have the hardest job tonight. You have to judge these poems openly, semi-openly, semi-privately. But you have to share your thoughts, and you will be doing that with scores. So judges, you'll be scoring from me 0.0 to 10.0 scale, 0.0 being the worst piece of shit you ever heard in your life. It's like death on top of death, on top of death, on top of deadly illness, on top of death. And that's just a 2.5. And a 10 is the best thing that you ever heard. It's like your grandmother's sweet potato pie. I'm not gonna say anything more than that. But that's just an 8.5. Point being, there's not a lot of zeros, there are not a lot of 10s, score accordingly. As the night goes on, you know, you might find yourself in a different vibe, in a different zone, you know, more in tuned with the night as things go on. You know, I don't know about you, you might be smoking, you might be drinking. I don't know what you're doing at your home. Point being is, you know, it's not fair to the people who went first before like you got in the zone or, you know, got in the vibe of the night. So please don't do score creep. And to help you with that, we will have a sacrificial poet. They are not competing, but they will go first, and you will score them as if they are competing and think of them as a calibration. So any poems you like more, score them higher. Any poems you don't like as much, score them lower. Speaking of scores, there is a time-honored tradition called Word of the Day. And that is where we force poets to jam a random word from the internet into their poem for an extra point during the first round. Judges, don't worry about that extra point. Our scorekeeper will handle that. But what you can do is if you hear the word of the day, type it in the chat. Let us know. So we're catching that because, you know, sometimes when you're looking at numbers, you're not necessarily listening to all the words. I know I'm not. I can't listen to words and look at numbers. It makes my head hurt. But anyway, our word of the day is yin, which is a noun and it means a strong desire or propensity for something, like a yin for the sea or did I get kicked out?
You're back in, I hear you now.
Oh, first of all, wow. During Black History Month, really, Zoom? During Black History Month, this is how you gonna do me? Really? Okay, I got something for your ass. Wait until you get that lost. Wait, no, don't. Actually, let me stop because we are live streaming and, you know, maybe Zoom might try to take our ass. Anyway, we're back. I was talking about word of the day. It means to yearn, to urge for something, like a yen for ice cream. Poets, if you use yen in your poem, this is what I mean by I can't recover a fumble. Please don't go over 4 minutes. But if you use yen in your poem, you get an extra point during the first round only. Okay. Wow, I don't even know where I'm at. Oh yeah, and then for you at home, make sure you like, follow, subscribe to whatever platform you're looking at, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you are. We do hella these events a month. When I say hella, I do mean hella. So many that I can't keep track of them to tell you about them. But what you can do is like us because we are always posting, always keeping people informed. We'll even DM your ass if we think you need to know. So stay tuned, stay sweetie tapped in because you always want to be able to catch us when we're live streaming or when we have money to give out. So yeah, if not for the poems, follow us for the money. Anyway, speaking of money and poems, we have these wonderful delightful poets that will be reading in this order is, I don't even know if this damn list is right in the host checklist. Can someone confirm if the host checklist list is right? Because
That is the list you read out. Yes, that is the list you read out.
okay, so the poets will be reading in this order. We have Kelsey Daniels, we have Alex the Great, we have Stolba, we have Esperanza Cabrales, we have Bambi, we have Gabriel Ramirez, and we have Diana Medina. Give it up for all of the poets.
Woo!
Unless someone said the order changed. Was that not the right order? Was that not the order from earlier?
That was the order I got. It was posted like 4 times. First, it was just all the poets. Then it was put in order of when they were gonna go.
Okay, because I can't see, because I got kicked out, so I can't see earlier in there the list that we posted, so I couldn't cross-reference. But I believe that everything is correct. I am sorry about the order. If you are not happy with the order, come back next time. It's randomized, so you might get another place next time. But we are ready to hop in it, which means, let's see. On deck, we have Kelsey, but give maximum love for your sacrificial poet. Give it up for Reggie. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Cool.
We can hear you now.
Praise to my slutty ass out here dripping honey and gold and covered in stardust. Because have you ever seen a heavenly body become this earthbound like I, be angelic up in this bitch? I put the hoe in holy. I throw this ass in a circle like it is a praise dance to myself. I suck dick like it is the gospel. And the Lord said, this too is good, but he came in my mouth, so I spit just to spite him. Because no God but me gonna call this body a temple, gonna make this temple a home. Because when you come to my church, you better come correct, with a bowed head and my name like a prayer between your clasped hands. And there was a boy once, a white boy, who said my name like he owned it, and I broke him like a rusted chain. When he called me the devil, I laughed in his face and said, no, honey, Lucifer was an angel once. Some say he tried to become God, but ain't no attempts here. When I call myself holy, it is not an opinion. When I call you unworthy, it is the truth. I built myself an altar, asked you for a sacrifice, and you gave me what? Rotten fruit, soured wine, a wooden cross to crucify me on, but I am not your white God, so I can't be killed that easy. Tomorrow, I'll rise from the ashes you made of me, still set aflame, and you wish you could be half as hot as I am. You wish you could be this holy, this sacred, this full of lust and light. I shake my ass and mountains tremble. I say my name and even the trees bow under the howl of my wind. You speak and it is silent. You dance and the world ignores your movements. What is nothing compared to everything? What is your sacrilege compared to all of me? I am everything I need to be. And sometimes that means I am both the preacher and the Bible he will read from. Some days I am an Old Testament bitch. And I will set you on fire for shit as simple as looking at me funny. Other days I'm a New Testament hoe. And I cradle forgiveness in my hands like a delicate rose. But on all days I am celestial, a divine psalm, an ecclesiastical expression of myself. I am myself, and I bow my head in prayer just to speak my own name. I pray to myself, become a silent amen at the end of every poem. I am everything you want to be and nothing that you are. So how dare you step to me, to God, and demand salvation. How dare you assume that you are even worthy of being saved? Did you not hear me, boy? When you come to my church, you better come correct. You better praise my name or don't say it at all. If you speak my name like a curse, expect for me to cut you. But if you swallow my bones, bitch, I hope you fucking choke. Okay, give me All right, judges, send your scores over to our scorekeeper L now. This is the longest we'll give you. Try to have it by the end of the poem. By the end of the poem, by the middle of the poem, you know, if it's gonna be like a or so you know, score accordingly. We want to be able to announce the scores of the previous poet after the next poet. So the quicker you get those scores in, the quicker it helps. Make sure you send it as a private message. I saw someone posted their score for all to see. I mean, if you want to, like, we appreciate transparency. I just don't want nobody getting their ass flipped in the Zoom chat. So, you know, move accordingly and with the confidence that you have. Our scorekeeper is L, E-L-L-E. Oh my goodness, I can spell, but I cannot count. Don't ask me to do that. I think we've got everyone but Prophet's score. Ooh, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. Prophet, give your score to Ella.
I gave my score first.
Oh, we'll resend it.
Oh, oops, then I'm missing someone else. If we have four, do we have 5? I have 4 scores. Oh, wait, I got it.
Okay, cool. Lit. Boom. Maybe it was Colin. I don't know. I don't know, but we got all the scores. Cool. Thank you. Great practice. Practice makes perfect, and that's what we're going to be from now on. Look at that, you know, because we are about to get into this slam. So that means on deck, we have Alex the Great, but give maximum love for our first poet competing in the slam. Give it up for Kelsey Daniels.
Woo! Let's go.
Yeah.
Yes,
Universe, you a petty bitch. You all looping around hidden desires and the manifestations I didn't even know how to dream ass. Oh, it all worked out in ways I couldn't fathom, motherfucker. I'm about tired of your timing being all whimsical and purposeful and shit. This heifer up in the sky got the nerve to give me a mirror and show me how fucking fine I am. Been telling me to pop that pussy for a real nigga, and the real nigga is me. It's disgusting. How many signs I be bumping all into, reminding me I'm on the right path and shit. I be out here, ready to give the fuck up, and then boom, a June bug or an angel number or grandma's song comes on shuffle, a special delivery from the petty ass beyond, letting me know to sit my ass down somewhere and release the how, because shit be working out for my good, whether I think it or not. I think if I'm honest, the hole that could catch these hands the most is time. I wish I could go back and tell the me it's coming, the better, that everyone threw in my face, unsure of what to wish for me they could truly make good on, because love isn't something you plan for. It's not The Sims, where you just keep mashing buttons and end up with heart bars on full, but this in love with myself shit is actually a thing. A realizing that magic version of me has always been here. The wishes my heart made yin for me too. I was always a purposeful during, even when I sentences to the binary of before and after. Puzzles don't really look like shit close up, but that panorama hit different. The distance been exquisite and irritating, because knowing then that now was coming could have, I don't know, mellowed me out a bit, brought a bitch some peace and mindfulness and all the other shit spiritual Instagram be talking about that I double tap. I guess what I'm trying to say is, how dare you actually prepare me for what my heart wants, needs, and deserves? You got some nerve to make me something I can actually believe in, bitch.
Woo!
Gang. Gang. Give it up for the poet. Woo.
let's go,
Pew, pew,
poet.
pew.
Okay. I think I'm still waiting for, oh, okay. I have the score for the sec. But before that, I feel like really rude because I didn't introduce none of y'all to my co-host. This is Barry. He is a purple collared, and he is our co-host because he's in my shot today. So everybody say hello to Barry the collared plant.
How you doing, Barry?
If anyone knows anything about me, I've actually been growing this plant for the last like 3 years. So like, I'm actually like really proud that I haven't killed this motherfucker yet. So yes, plant mom, never a real mom. Plant children, not real children. Love them, but I allow other people to have them for me. You know, I can give them back. I love giving children back. It's the best thing ever. It's just like, you've had so much fun. Go to bed with mommy now. Bye. I'm gonna go get some. Yes, although like, yeah, just giving children back. That's the beautiful thing. Yeah. Anyway, our sacrifice got a 26.8. Fuck the scores, give it up for the poet, never the points. All right, we're gonna move right along. On deck, we have Sova, but give maximum love to our second poet in the slam. Give it up for Alex the Great.
Woo! Yeah.
Yo.
In my most vivid of dreams, I live in a state of pure euphoria, where fantasy crosses over to reality. I don't know a world in which I didn't know my history. Minority is a word just as foreign to me as illiterate everyone, a scholar in their own birthright. Du Bois had not developed the concept of the talented 10th because Black folk were the exceptional 100%. There was no protest against affirmative action. 209 is only an area code, not a prop or a foul or a reason to call timeout. Our history in ancient Egypt, rooted in royalty, dressed as deity, is equal parts of the curriculum. Just as integral as the Constitution, just as American as apple pie, my name is still my name, and my brother's name, and my sister's name, and my grandmother's name. No matter how much practice it takes to say correctly, I am worth a summoning without mispronunciation and added pause if need be, not in need of correction. Provide me a seance so I can convene with the ancestor Thurgood, and we instill some martial law over this injustice. I have taken my power back, because we all know the pen is mightier than the sword. That's why they say the mind is sharp. To say I'm smart is an understatement. I am ingenious. I was born with the intellect of 4 generations. Just stop by outside of my mind to say, Black folks never needed you to give us a holiday. Everything we got, we earned. Everything you bought, you take, you steal, you lie, and as the story goes, you lie, you a thief, you kill, you murder, you murderer. You murderer, and you live to laugh about it another day. You smile in our face, you spit on our grandfather's graves, you desecrate the sanctity of our names, but you cannot stop this praise. Shake down the leaves, but you cannot trim the roots away.
Damn.
Woo! My God.
Woohoo!
Give it up for Alex the Great.
Yeah. Woo!
Whoa. And for reference, Kelsey got a 27.5. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Never the points. The poet.
Let's go, poet.
Never the points. Lit. All right, we are chugging right along. So on deck we have Esperanza. But give maximum love to our next poet up on stage. Give it up for Sova.
Gang. Woo!
I'm mad at men. And yeah, I do mean all men, because I know at least half the guys are thinking, what, even me? I didn't even do anything. Of course you did. I know your type. Self-proclaimed sweetheart, the I'm just trying to help you fuckboy. The I just want to protect you, asshole. So funny how quickly you want to switch into the you asked for it, gentlemen. Your genitals are not a fucking monocle, so why are they the only lens you want to look through? It took you exactly one smile to defile me, and sometimes I didn't even give you that. So this is for the nice guy predators. Fuck you, Orlando. The nice guy with the fancy shirt and shiny shoes who approached me about a Walmart MasterCard. He found out I already had one and spent the night swiping, tapping, trying to figure out why my chip won't work. Fuck you, Uzzer, my boss at the halal butcher shop. The good Muslim man who offered me his sausage while I was still in high school. Fuck you, Brandon. My ex-boyfriend with the white skin and the blue eyes, the one who grew up in foster care, would never hurt a fly. What? I'm paying your rent. Let me touch it. Fuck you, Leon. Fuck you, Ryan. Fuck you, Daniel. Fuck you, Omar. Fuck you, David. Fuck you, Nubian. Fuck you, Terry. Fuck you, Issa. Fuck you to all my mom's cousins. And fuck you to the ones I've forgotten. God knows how many that is, because it took me 15 minutes to dredge up the names I just said. Fuck you for every shitty graveyard body metaphor. Fuck you for the times I sabotage my eating disorder recovery because I don't want anyone to have anything to grab onto. Fuck you for the money I gotta spend on Ubers because y'all make it too unsafe to ride the subway. Fuck you for the childhood I lost. Fuck you for the trust I wasted on your Dr. Jekyll when you only ever showed me your hide, so my inner child learned to do the same. Only knows safety and fun, but not fight, freeze, but not flight. And I'm sure that up to this point you still believe me, but this poem had a different ending the first time I performed it, because since then I looked up my last abuser on Instagram and they changed their pronouns. So the truth is, it was a hell of a lot easier for me to write this about a he, him, because I know it's a hell of a lot easier for you to get behind a rape poem when the assailant is a man. When it's clear, simpler to empathize with a story you've seen 100 times before, because there's no compassion for a they, them rape. The truth is, I yen for all of my anger to give you a storyline you are comfortable supporting and believing. The truth is, the one thing harder for me to stomach than a nice guy is a nice gay, so I would like to acknowledge you. The one who just wanted to take care of me after I lost my best friend to suicide, who said I shouldn't be alone even though I wanted to be alone, and wouldn't rest until we shared that Uber home. I'm not trying to stir up new drama, I'm just trying to patch up this wound, because it's been almost a year since you posted private screenshots of your sex life on Facebook. Tag my friends, poetry slam organizers tried to prove you didn't assault me. Those screenshots are still up. So congratulations. You win. You proved you can violate me out in the open every second of every day for a year, and no one can do a goddamn thing about it. You refuse to take them down without an apology from me, so here it is. I'm sorry your name has gone back to being one I'm afraid to say.
Oh my goodness.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for Sova.
Woo!
Lola.
Judges, send your scores on over to L. And for reference, damn, I just saw this score. I'm telling you, I can't listen to words and see numbers. It makes my brain hurt, and I'll forget one of them. Okay. Alex the Great got a 25.6. I am unbiased, but fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Never the points.
Woo!
All right. I don't know if you knew this, but like I've heard some really great writing so far tonight. If you would like to be a really great writer, or even like a really bad writer that just likes to write a lot, because you don't have to be good at anything. You do not have to be good at anything. Just be good at being you. But if you want to do something and write with a group of people, we have a writing workshop before our show, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, every Wednesday, either led by one of our organizers or by the feature. Ariana Brown led a wonderful workshop this week. KB led a wonderful workshop last week. You should just come, vibe with us, write with us, Some of the work that you hear on stage might be from the workshop or from previous workshops, and that's just because like they're dope, and these are dope writers, and you're a dope writer, so you should come through. Boom. And we'll always post the Zoom link on Instagram. Yeah. Lit. Oh, damn. Did I close out of my list? No, I didn't. Ha ha. On deck, we have Bambi, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Esperanza.
Pew, 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 pew.
Woo!
New shit. Mic check.
New shit.
We hear you.
I've tried to play many roles in my one-woman show. I've played 3 on-stage roles, but boy, do they show my range. An angel, a mute narrator, and an 80s themed money-grabbing wife who was introduced to the theme of man-eater. Man, at 15, I was not ready for those heels, or playing such a sensual villain. In that role, I was introduced formally to my personal archenemy, anxiety. My first performance was my cousin's wedding. I was 3, sang my little heart out, and was compensated adorably, accordingly. Singing was, for so long, a big part of me. Music was for living, not studying. It was the studying that brought discomfort, overthinking, doubt in my abilities. I studied music for 10 years. Choir, piano, flute, trumpet. All it brought was knowledge of my own inadequacy. I wasn't taught keys or the concept of flat. For my first 5 years, then all I knew of music was all the ways I fell flat, lacked, struggled to read this language I grew up with. When my choir teacher gifted me an unapologetic anxiety attack. No permission to take a breath, walk outside. I felt a part of me break in a way I knew couldn't be remade. I was the clashing mezzo forte A sharp as everyone else sang a perfect A. Choir is not made for mismatched harmonies in this way. I can't remember the last time I had the gall to sing in public on my own. Now I butcher the notes on purpose. My anxiety tells me that's better than really trying and not getting it. I've played the role of dutiful student, diligent teacher's pet, straight A's, or at least acting so people assume that's no less than what I deserve. I was points away from an F in chemistry, didn't believe in myself enough to try for university. I worry while trying so hard not to fail others. What I've done is fail me. When I discovered reading and writing creatively, it became my escape, my safe place. The pages a caress, yen so sweet. Scribbling and page-turning melodies, the quiet of the library so comforting. My earliest stories were ones of pride that I showed off near as much as my writer's bump above my right index finger. Emotionally, it put me through the ringer when I read a days-old story to my dad at the age of 8, awaiting hopefully encouragement, excitement, awe at the joy of creating, and instead have found rejection, disbelief. I was not living up to expectations. A half-baked excuse of an apology followed, but I was left so hollow. So far, only this. My poetry has brought me peace through my anxiety, steadied the shaking of my hands, brought goosebumps to my arms positively, stuttering used as another asset instead of a liability weighing me down.
Gang,
Pra, 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 pra.
gang, gang. Give it up for Esperanza.
Woo!
Ooh. Okay. Obligatory spiel about linear time and it being the fucking worst, because after a very small, I've been informed, very small time penalty, Sova got a 27.2. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet, not the points. The poet, not the points.
Fuck the score. Fuck the time limit.
Look, linear time, fuck the time. Yes, fuck the time limit. Not as a competitor. After the poem, if you go over time, we'll say it. Don't worry. Like, fuck time though. Like, I just learned that like physicists are talking about like Earth's core is like 2.5 years younger than the crust because of fucking time dilation. And I'm not no. Just no. All of this shit is made up. All of it. Time is an illusion. Like, at this point, like, you can't convince me that life isn't a simulation if like the Earth's core is 2.5 years younger than the crust. I'm done. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. This is all a bad acid trip. Thank you. Yes, this is all a bad acid trip. I would like to wake up now. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now that I have gotten my conspiracy theory out the way, on deck, we have Gabriel Ramirez. We give maximum love to our next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Bambi.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Listening to Dijon after a breakup, old acrylics messing up your grieving process. We spill wine over how I was the bad guy, and so was Prince Charming. What are morals when you would do anything for the things you love, and if you are the thing you wish to love? I miss wearing dresses. I miss existing and existing without you. I'm obsessing over some dick lately. Or the way this dick has a deep voice and makes us coffee in the morning and makes me appreciate Dijon a lot more. I am the rodeo clown, and clowns are respectable. I'll ride like I was meant for it. I'll look you in the eyes like I was meant for it. We are but the hurt parts that find each other in a laugh, and that is dangerous. I keep thinking about what I may never find again. I never know the longevity of never. I feel forever with the fear. I feel forever and see your face, which is to say I fear your face. And I fear my own cruelty. I am the bad guy and so is Prince Charming. It is easy to make myself a person, and what does that make you but a thing that happens to me? And idealizing can be the sin that someone died for. You are the sin I'm willing to infect over, and that is not saying much. I've infected over more and less, but it all feels the same to my body. You remind me of silence. You remind me of the quiet in between the lightning strikes, the tinge of singed earth, and how we think we'll exist here with our hair standing upright. I am young, and I am older than I thought I'd be. Meaning plans were made without me. Meaning I was made ahead of my consciousness, and I think of that often enough. I think of how I am your age now, and I can't relate to you. You are multiple people, by the way. You refers to everyone who has touched me righteously. I yearn for you the way I reminisce on being yearned for. Sometimes I can have my own perspective, and static can overcome us with sincerity and truth. The truth is, I miss wearing dresses. I miss being a wind. I miss flowing. Watch me fly without you. I don't let go of many things, or I let go of a lot of things, I just don't remember them. Either way, you might drop me faster than I'll let my fingers unravel from around you. I'll change my mind a lot. I'll change my mind faster than I've convinced myself of a reality. I'll change as soon as that. Trust, that will be uncomfortable and jarring. You will never know me, but I have loved more things than I could witness firsthand. They live in my fingertips. They live in corners, and I won't tell you about them. Do I expect you to listen to this? Yes, yes, I fucking do. So catch me overthinking every comma. Catch me against the gate, begging and pleading for a connection that feels the most bit familiar. Crack open another bottle. Listen to Dijon after a breakup. Wear a fucking dress.
Gang. Motherfucking gang. Give it up for Bambi. All right. Okay, I just saw this score and I lost it because numbers. Okay, and Esperanza got at 25.9. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Never the points. The poet. Never the points. Lit. All right, we are almost at the end of the first round. We have 2 poets left. On deck, we have Diana Medina.
Can you find me?
but give maximum love to our next poet coming up in the slam. Give it up for Gabriel Ramirez.
Woo! Oh!
My severed head speaks. When I say I got bored with heroes, that means I got bored with God too. After years of praying God would reach their hands into me to give me the love I could never gift myself, I got bored with God. Stopped praying, they showed up. Started searching for where my prayers went since they went unanswered. Found nothing but a river full of death and mud, sticks and blood. Got on my knees, leaned into it. Once my lips touched the water took my head under and kept it so long, my body gained its own consciousness, its own language. Said to me that if diamonds can sharpen diamonds, then it must be the same for prayer. And my body got to moving like blacksmiths and sharpened prayer into something that could sever itself free from this lonely head and left me like anyone would, a useless God. I can't blame my body for wanting sovereignty, for wanting more than the patter of rain to call friend, singing godless, all this river music filling my eyes, making me cry. And the lyrics, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Coincidence? Alone I say I am nobody. Alone I say I want to die, and ain't no company here to tell me otherwise. See what I mean? Me being bored with God is me being left with my lonely, left with my depression so long. The only God I want is my body. The only God I want is the one that can pull me out of this river and make me whole again. My body taught itself to feel, my body yearning for anything they touch and calling it God. My body ain't bored anymore, and I want to feel God in my hands. I want to glide my fingers across a tree's long chest and learn the truest prayer, calling oneself home. What use is the house of God if you can't feel God and everything that fills the house? I want my body back. I want every step I take to make me a stained glass testimony. The severed head never finding God in the dead river of his lonely, but found God in the holy of his body, called himself a church, welcomed all of his empty parts and said, here, I am loved. Here, I am cared for. Here, I am together. Here, I will never be alone.
Gang.
Oh my God.
Give it up for Gabriel Ramirez.
Yes.
Woo!
All right, and for reference, I swear I should start writing these numbers down instead of me just like having to scroll every time because I forget it. But it looks like okay, I almost read the wrong fucking thing. So you see, numbers not my thing, but so glad that there's other people that are really good at them doing the thing, you know. Shout out to our mathematicians. I am not one of them, but we love to see them.
Thank you, mathematicians.
Yes, and shout out to our scorekeeper doing math on a fucking Wednesday night. I can't do it. I literally, like, not even that I won't, it's that I can't. It's not what I was put on this earth to be able to do. It's not within my spiritual gifts to do math. But it looks like Bambi got a 26.9. Fuck the score. Give it up for the poet. Never the points. The poet, never the points. I mean, yeah, the spreadsheet does the math, but then you also have to like make sure that the spreadsheet's doing the math right, and then make sure you're pulling the right numbers and you're looking at numbers. And Elle, I really appreciate what you do. I really appreciate what you are able to do.
Thank you.
Lit. On deck, we have the second round, round two, fight. But give maximum love to our last poet in round one. Give it up for Diana Medina.
Woohoo!
Everybody can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. This piece is called Ode to Santa Marijuana. She visits me in my dazes when I put myself in them. This has slowly become the only self-care ritual that makes sense to me. I reach for her box, pull out our favorite tools, music, grinder, stick, spoon. I let her caress my fingertips as I pack her into paper cones, and I mumble prayers under my breath between puffs of her Mediton until I am slapped in the face by a whirlwind of relaxation when her scent enters the room. I have a yen for her guidance when to-do lists overpower me, when I need something to unstick me so certainty and ideas can flow again, and Santa Marijuana appears, twinkles in her bloodshot eyes with hands full of snacks. I stare at her, at the snacks, at the mirror, and she gives me advice between nibbles when I get too paranoid to trust myself, and I ask her all my questions quickly, one after another, afraid we will run out of time. What does it mean when people call me too much? Shouldn't I be offended? Do you think my thought has thoughts? Wouldn't it be cool to do poems in auto-tune? Is all of this why I'm still single? And she puts her hand up, blowing smoke in my face as she hands me another snack, but I still have questions. She blows more smoke in my face and answers, girl, none of that matters right now. There is only this moment, just surrender. And I do as she says, like an obedient student. I inhale, puff, exhale, and the moment passes. I push the pause button on my spiraling and instead say a desperate prayer. Santa Marijuana, paciente como las hojas cambiando de color, guíame hacia un despertar celestial, plántame en un jardín con una nueva vida. Haz que flores broten de mi boca y usaré sus colores vibrantes para crear un nuevo universo a todo mi alrededor. Just like that, she says, look within you, one puff at a time, and remember, ideas are coming, money is coming, good dick is coming, good fortune is coming, the universe is coming all over you, mija. So lean back, smoke, smile, create, enjoy, and please, for the love of Goddess, stop ruining your own high.
Say that.
Gang. Gang. Give it up for Diana Medina.
Oh, bra, 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 bra.
All right. Let's see. Did I get the last score? All right, so Gabriel Ramirez got a 28.4. Fuck the scores, give it up for the poet. Never the points. The poet, never the points. And then I am going to call me Joseph because I am stalling while I get anybody?
Yes.
History nerds?
Yes. we love
Nobody?
it.
Okay.
Ha.
Goodbye. I'm gonna go bury myself. It's fine. But no, I am stalling while I get the scores for Diana. Oh, I got them. Look, the joke was enough. And Diana got a 28.2. So while we wait for the second round, let me tell you about the other shows in the Bay Area, because there are other shows in the Bay Area. Let's see, let's start with the beginning of the week, which I guess is Sunday for some people. Some people it's Saturday, I don't know. But we'll start with Sunday. Second Sundays via Zoom is San Jose Slam, which you should check out. I'm not sure exactly which is their Instagram. I think it's San Jose Poetry Slam.
It is.
Cool. Lit. And then every third Tuesday via Zoom and Instagram Live and YouTube and all those wonderful streaming links is the Oakland Poetry Slam. And then every Wednesday, that's right here, Berkeley Slam, wherever you're watching us, catch us again every Wednesday. And then every first and third Saturday is the Rich Oak Alchemy open mic on Instagram Live. You can visit Rich Oak Alchemy for more information. But yeah, follow us on our social media to stay tuned. I don't expect you to do anything. Right now, we don't have anything in person anymore. We hope that will change in March. We have some updates kind of in the works. So hopefully we will have more information about that towards the end of the month. But yeah, it's just hard out here with the vid. So yeah, support the shows that when they do come back in person, and support the spaces that hold those events as well, because that is a big thing. It's not shows not being able to come back, but venues not being able to come back. Oh shit, we're taking 5. Let's see what the list is. Okay, we're taking 5, unless there's a score, or a tie. Okay. It looks like, okay, I have our list. Whew, chilly. Let me tell you, these scores were motherfucking close. And like, I mean, I can't really tell you that as much as Elle can. That was just me like thinking about the scores really hard. I'm not actually looking at the scores, so don't trust me. But trust me, the scores have been like really close. We took the top 5 poets. They are close. Okay, confirmation from an expert. Look at me. This is what it looks like to be in the middle of a bimbo rebrand. I say things and they're true. Love it. Love this for me. But we took the top 5 poets in the first round, and they will be appearing in reverse order. So, you know, like I said earlier, getting kind of biblical, the last will be first, the first shall be last. But they will be going in this order. We have Diana, we have Gabriel, we have Bambi, we have Sofa, and we have Kelsey. Give it up for everybody who made it to the second round. And give it up for like everyone who touched this stage tonight. If you didn't make it to the second round, please come back next week. There are plenty of chances to make it to the second round, plenty of chances to win, come to a workshop. We want to still see you here because you are still really, really dope. Just the scores are really fucking close tonight. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Bless us with y'all words continually, please.
Yes. That's one of the judges telling you to come back. So like, you have to do it now or else they'll judge you. So we are going to just slide on into this second round, no breaks, which means on deck we have Gabriel, but give it up one more time for Diana.
Hi, everybody. Hi again. All right. This poem is called, there we go. This poem is called Breakdown. When my breakdown started, I felt invincible. I was overflowing with energy and ideas. I couldn't keep my hands off things I couldn't afford. And my anxiety did such an amazing job of acting like joy, she could have won an Oscar and a Golden Globe. The next phase of my breakdown was darkness. This is the part where your brain and body simultaneously shut down the way a laptop does in the middle of you typing the best sentence ever, and you push all the buttons, but nothing happens. Your mind, your breath, your sense of reality turn off all at once, and you have no control, and there's no way to power yourself back up. You just have to wait there. Blank stare, blinking, crying, screaming, eventually breathing, while praying that something wakes you up again. The next phase of the breakdown was hunger. I needed to eat everything I saw on the menu. I needed to talk up a storm to make up for lost time. I needed to, but my brain was still buffering. I short-circuited and lost my ability to speak, and I could only express myself in writing. And somehow part of me knew this might happen because I had index cards and a pen in my purse, but I have no idea how they got there. The next phase of the breakdown was index cards. I pulled them out and started writing. First, I just wrote how I was feeling. I feel stuck. I can't breathe. I want more mac and cheese. Until my written thoughts became equal parts ridiculous and intense. I think I have an idea that will win me a Nobel Peace Prize. I am going to write the most amazing poem and email it to Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he's going to put it in his next musical. I don't think I went to bed last night. I haven't taken my meds in 3 days. I'm going to get a MacArthur Genius Grant or die trying. I can feel myself going crazy. I don't have $1 million idea, but I have a lot of $1,000 ones. I don't know how to stop. The next phase of my breakdown was crying. So much crying over everything that ever happened to me ever. I picked apart every wound and every scab, weeping and grieving with my whole body. I held myself, my inner child, my inner teenager, all of us broken, bruised, and barely breathing. The next phase of the breakdown was beige. This is the part where the ambulance shows up after you showed up to a networking brunch, crying in your pajamas, talking about sad shit, and then didn't answer your phone for 2 days. Friends come to check on you, crying about the state they find you in. Hospitals are involved, emergency contacts get called, and the meds you take result in a deep, delicious nap. The last phase of the breakdown is recovery. I'm still figuring that phase out.
Wow.
Gang.
Wow.
Gang.
My goodness.
Give it up for Diana. All right. Let's see. On deck, we have Bambi. We give maximum love to our second poet in the second round. Give it up for Gabriel Ramirez.
Woo! Woo, woo.
Black boy auditions for his own funeral. How was that? Did my silence break the small mother in your chest? I was going for this closed casket kind of quiet, you know, thought it'd make things more real, like an autopsy, cause of death, duh, racism, time of death, when white supremacy opened my mouth, poured nigga down my throat, and it became the only language I knew. Poison so thick, you could call it an accent, call it self-hate, you know. Black folk be fresh meals, be what the prison industrial complex fill their wallets with. Black movies, so low budget, we could use the concrete instead of a crucifix. Yeah, it's fine. Haven't had a casting call, so I've been training with the cop. You know, he told me to get against the wall. He told me to get on the ground. He told me to say my lines with his gun in my mouth, and he didn't believe there could be a God in my sometimes church body. And thirsty for faith, he shot rounds at my stained glass skin, wanted to see a God that looked like him ooze from the rapture of me. Do I look the part yet? I spent all day with the mortician. They liked me. They saw my head shot. You can put as many holes in me as you want. I could dance despite the bullets these seeds police planted to make me a field of blooming things like activists and protests and hashtags at the morgue. They held me like a mother would, but not like my mother did at the hospital, trying to squeeze the rhythm back into my chest. Will the sequel be about my mother in a courtroom, wailing her way into a settlement of, sorry, ma'am, I was just doing my job, and a check to pacify her raging blood. Take what flowers grow from me. Make a bouquet for my mother, for all mothers who lose children and are left with shovels to bury what they thought would be the rest of their lives. Roll the credits. A round of applause for every cop that made it to the big screen with their hands too full of fundraised retirement money to carry any kind of accountability. Roll the credits, walk out the theater, all the names of the taken from us too soon, ascending into some rushed and forgotten heaven. Let my death be your last take. And in this final shot, when you're burying me, make sure you get my fucking good side.
Gang.
These poets are coming to
Gang.
eat.
Give it up for Gabriel Ramirez. Woo.
Pew, pew, pew.
So I decided not to look at the last poet's score until I was ready to announce it. That way I couldn't forget, but then I still kind of have to look for it. No help. I am no help. My brain does not try to help me at all because I have two brain cells rubbing together trying to figure out how to get enough spark to light some weed. So I'm not very useful. I don't even know why they have me hosting this, but Diana got a 26.2. Fuck the scores. Give it up at poetry. Never the poets. The poet, never the points. And that means that on deck, we have Skolba. But give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Bambi.
Woo! I now know that vulnerability means can't make eye contact, covering your face for dignity's sake, talking through mouth filled with pillowcase. You say, you could have broken me then, torn me apart, and why didn't you? Vulnerability knocks me off my feet, specifically sung by Luther Vandross. Something about a gay Black man singing to a heart unknown just hits a little different. When he sings, I don't wanna bore you with it. What he means to say is, you could have broken me then, torn me apart. Isn't it the brink of something beautiful? The preface, to say so much in saying face lodged in pillow, do not make a burden out of me. I don't want to bore you with my troubles, but there's something about your love that makes me vulnerable. Vulnerability has never taken space for love's sake. Rather, love is what blooms and vulnerability is the soil. My soil was malnourished. At some point got more sunlight than could be respected. Did indeed make me feel weak. And so someone should have told Luther there is no weakness and vulnerability, only strength. I do not listen to Knocks Me Off My Feet alone in bed. I listen to it with you in our kitchen, the smell of eggs wafting through the apartment, and we dance to that savory scent, pleading with our bodies to communicate all the things we thought we could only whisper, shallowly. When bowing heads and closing eyes, oh, but I love you, I love you, I love you. Find this song blasting at least once at the cookout, and so vulnerability must also smell like barbecue ribs, burgers, and sweat. Must mean that being Black is to be vulnerable all the time, exposed at every corner. Our skin is love, blooms from this soil, but never weak. Someone should have told Luther there's no weakness and vulnerability, so when we fill our plates with potato salads and next to cousins we haven't seen in a long while, what we do know is this feeling of being vulnerable without permission, unapologetically. Something about surviving long enough to get the grill started knocks me off my feet. To say, I don't want to bore you with it, but you will hear me. I don't want to have to do it to you, but it is what it is. I lied. I do listen to it alone in bed when I think of my mother. She'd play this, ask us who's singing, and there was a right answer. Mr. Luther Vandross, come correct. My mom's vulnerability looks like you could have broken me then, torn me apart, but I won't let you. Something about the brink of blooming vulnerability with the self. A love from being unapologetic, savory, strong, something beautiful. Knocks me off my feet.
Gang, gang,
Hey, hey.
gang. Give it up for Bambi. Okay. All right, and for reference, Gabriel Ramirez got a 27.9. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet, not the points. The poet, not the points. The only reason I was able to announce that score so quickly is because it didn't leave the screen. There weren't enough messages between the score and the bottom of the messages. So shout out to the chat. But I did lose the list. There we go. All right, we are nearing the end of the slam because on deck we have Kelsey. But give maximum love for the second to last poet of the night. Give it up for Soba.
Oh, oh.
Woo!
I did what I could to protect myself from the water and all it's expected to conceal. I am terrified of drowning, so I conjure community from kiddie pool. Turn this ocean from ecosystem, from bouncy, from open, to barren, to sterile, to safe, and yet sorry. You down, the word stop spills out of my mouth like broken faucet, drips again, and again, floods the room. I held my breath, realizing it was never really mine to hold like everything else. My survival is just another favor gifted to me from the kindness of someone else's heart at the mercy of someone else's hands I've been dressed. Your grin illuminated by your phone screen. Text reads, guess what I just did in a motel room. You turned my assault into conquest. Spectacle. Every slam needs an audience and a winner. Judges decide it's you. Take the stage, leaving me to resuscitate myself. Blocking you on Facebook doesn't stop it from advertising your features. Using stolen poems does not strip you of your accolades, titles, positions of power. Reaching for my pussy during the slam is not the only way you get to score at my expense that night. And reporting you won't stop them from inviting you back to finals doesn't stop you from taking nationals. And I was told not to write about this. How the beloved poet could become the trigger warning for every place I'm afraid to go back to. Call it cancel culture, not accountability. Flirting, not assault. One mistake and not rape. Call them family, poet, activist, not someone who can't keep their hands off what does not belong to them. Describe our closeness and blood is thicker than water, but isn't every family the same? Don't we always defend our most predatory member? Blame the most vulnerable? This is not the first time I have trusted my community and had it fuck me without my consent. Worn the rapist reputation longer than I did for my virginity. It's been nearly 2 decades and my eyes are still bloodshot from chlorine, and nights I spend terrified to close them. And I can't remember the last time I performed this piece outside of Berkeley, or last time I felt safe in a slam scene that raised me, or heard in the country I live in. And lately I feel guilty for this repetition, but I write my story in fractions. Worried about who could trace it back to who, how the traces of them still embedded in me. Pressure myself to win so that maybe the value of my words will finally be enough for people to actually listen to them, listen to me, listen to us. This is for every leaky faucet still running. Too afraid to make waves, to reclaim their own breath. This is for us learning to float.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for Soba. All right, so we got a little switcherooning. We gotta do some things. And here's what happened. We had a judge that had to drop out. So what we are going to do is replace that judge's scores for the second round only with 10s for everyone across the board. Yeah, 10s. So like everybody gets a 10 this round, including the poets that went before. We're dropping that judge's score because it's just not fair. So in that does change scores, which means that Diana got a 27.6, not whatever I said before, because I don't remember. Gabriel Ramirez got a 28.5, not whatever I said before, because again, I don't remember. And well, I guess, yeah, well, and then Bambi, our last poet, got a 27.2. So those are the new scores for this round. Sorry, things happen, life happens. No harm, no foul. We have contingency plans because I used to be, well, first I used to be a boy, and then before that I used to be a Boy Scout, and the motto is be prepared. So we're always prepared. Boom. Big Oprah energy, you get a 10, you get a 10, everybody gets a 10. Yes, everybody in the second round gets a 10. Congratulations. To repeat, Gabriel Ramirez got a 28.5. Diana got a 27.6. Bambi got a 27.2. Boom. Wonderful. I'm glad we got that all sorted out. Yay, team. On so we can continue with the show. Oh my goodness. Wait. Let me look at this list. On deck, we have, oh shit, us figuring out who won all this money and going home. Or, well, I guess we should already be at home, going to bed maybe.
Wait, I thought Kelsey was gonna go.
Right, on deck we have this, but
Okay.
right now we have our last poet of the night. Give it up for Kelsey.
Bra, 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 bra.
So when I was in 5th grade, I was standing outside my classroom and this boy that I had the biggest crush on decided to come and talk to me loudly. He decided this would be the perfect time to point out my big ass belly. How it was much larger than my breasts, except for New York breasts, because he was only in 5th grade, but his comedic timing, y'all, well beyond his peers. The whole class erupted. They laughed and he laughed, and if I were white, I probably would have turned cherry red instead. I tried to turn wall. I inch ridiculously close to it, thinking if I perpetrated hard enough, eventually the structure would have to accept me as one of its own, and I would be relieved of the burden of being seen. I'd be free of the reality of having to be here. This was the start of my obsession with slipping into oblivion. Nowadays, oh, you're gonna know that a bitch is here and burst the scene, the skin, to not come with an instruction manual how to love its contents, and I'm doing all right. I'm no longer the compass from those unable to see my light. I'm getting used to life in this here reality, and won't you celebrate with me this luscious ass so mock? That minute of jello, whenever I let out a raucous chuckle, my giggle has a way of giving away my presence, much like my present form. I'm not really hard to miss, and ain't none of me hard to love. Choosing myself isn't always easy. You can't self-esteem out of fat phobia. Into making doctors believe you're actually in pain or having employers honor your access needs. This world has chosen a contentious relationship with my body, and I revoke consent message. It is illegal to shout fire in a crowded room when there isn't. However, it is not unlawful to be fire when you just are. So I just blaze, just be, exist unapologetically, allow the present of my presence to be fully received, because baby, I ain't got no muffin top. I'm the whole damn cake, how God it is. To see abundance where others call void. To call this body good, even if it's not observable to others. I call myself everything. I name myself all. I celebrate baby Kelsey and her big ass belly for the lasting, and how sweet it is to be loved by me. My best self is loud. Laughter spilling out like secrets that refuse to be hidden any longer. My best self is belly puffed in love with this jiggly ass existence. My best self is living and loving this moment right now, offering grace and denying shame to the negative self-talk that still tries to convince me that I don't deserve to be here. I was never the decorative wallflower. I was always the mural. I am already here, and I finally see me.
Woo! Gang. 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 Give it up for Kelsey. Woo! All right, all right. So once again, my name is Joseph and I am stalling while we get these scores. All of my history buffs are either on my side or groaning. So there's that. I hear an echo. Oh, damn it. God damn it. Those are like the worst words I wanted to see. Please don't tell me. For what fucking place? Okay, we'll find out later. Oh, Jesus. Okay, damn it. It's okay. We'll get through. Just Elle, if you could give me the scores for the third, second, and first place, and then we'll deal with the tie, I guess. It's always when I'm hosting that there's a damn tie. But we will. It's okay. But Kelsey did get a 28.5. Fuck the scores, give it up for the poet, never the points. The poet, never the points. Thank you for reminding me. I was like staring at this. Kelsey got 28.5 thinking, did I announce that or no? And so when you asked, are you going to announce my scores before the rank? I was like, I guess it's a no. Well, if I guess there's a tie for first place. So I need the two people who tied for first place and then the third place person. Wait, there's no tie? Please tell me there's no tie. Please tell me there's no tie.
Sorry, I was wrong. I almost did a mistake that I did before looking at the round total, but then I caught myself and looked at the total, and there is no tie for the total. So,
oh my goodness, I can feel my, oh my goodness, thank you. Oh.
It happens to the best of us.
It happens to literally everybody has to catch themselves like every time, at least me. I was there with, what did Aslan say? I was there when they made the deep magic. I'm glad somebody laughed at that because that was a very obscure fucking reference. Goddamn.
Age the Geek, I got it.
I love
yes.
Narnia.
Okay, people saying Narnia. Where's my Narnia niggas at? Let's talk about it.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we have the first, second, and third place, but I'm looking for, I think I'm about to get the like total scores. Okay. Whew, child, y'all saw me, I was sweating over that damn tie. Okay, all right. Damn, these scores are fucking close. All right, so we have scores, I'm so glad. In third place with a 55.8, winning 20 whole American dollars. Give it up for Diana. Anything you'd like to say to the people?
Thank you, and I will be spending it all in one place. Laundry.
Wonderful. You know what? Probably one of the most responsible things somebody has said that they're using this money for on this mic. Let's be honest. Yes, laundry. Oh, I just did laundry. It's a wonderful thing. Sorry. My partner just did laundry.
Even fancier to have it done for you. What an act of service that is.
Right. Okay.
It's the little things, right? It's the nuance.
Okay, but like, I paid for the washing. So like for one load. Yes, I did. Because your app wasn't working. Don't play with me. Well, We just signed up for the app and it was the $5 that they gave me for free, but it was my $5. So, but yes, laundry, important. Love it. Love that for you. Love that for me. Love that my partner did it and not me. Love everything. Bimbo life. Anyway, in second place with a 56.0, give maximum love to Kelsey. Anything you want to say to the people?
Thank y'all. This was cute. I'll see y'all next time.
Yeah, see you next time. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, and that means in first place with a 56.9, give it up for Gabriel Ramirez.
Pew, pew, pew.
Anything to say to the people?
Love Rich Oak. Miss y'all so much. Can't wait to be in person and hug on each other. Love y'all. OD. Gang gang.
Gang gang.
Please come back.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you. Thank you, Sova. Thank you. God, stop talking to me now. I'm losing my train of thought. Like, I'm so fucking high right now. Thank you, Sova. Thank you, Bambi. Thank you, Esperanza. Thank you, Alex. Thank you to everybody who touched the stage tonight. Thank you, Ariana Brown, for that amazing feature to kick off the night. Thank you, Barry, for being such an amazing co-host. You didn't say much, but you were a vibe. Thank you to like Elle and Becky and literally everyone on the crew that makes this work. I remember when it was like two little hood niggas with a dream, and now it's like a whole bunch of people with like multiple dreams in multiple directions, and we're growing and expanding. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to all of our judges. Thank you to my mom for birthing a legend. She didn't know it, but she did it. But yeah, this has been the Berkeley Slam. I'm completely ignoring the fact that I got a twin. But thank you so much. Yep, my woo-mate. But thank you so much. Thank you to you at home. This has been the Berkeley Poetry Slam. My name is Reggie. I have been your host. We will see you here next week. Who's featuring next week? Chev. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, our feature next week is going to be lit. Our features, like all of our features this month are really fucking lit. So you want to, I mean, just every month, because like, you know, we're the shit. But like this month in particular, you know, it's like
Black History Month.
It's Black History Month. We participate in Black History Year, but like we get like, we make sure we like throw down for Black History Month. You know what I mean? So you don't want to miss us. We'll see you next week right here for the Berkeley Poetry Slam featuring Siobhan Guthrie. I've been Reggie, your host. See you next time.